Before Kodak Black would drop massive songs like Tunnel Vision, Calling My Spirit, No Flockin', and ZZ, collaborating with Offset and Travis Scott. Before Kodak Black would work with artists like Lil Pump, Juice WRLD, XXXTentacion, Bun B, Future, French Montana, Young Thug, Gucci Mane, Lil Wayne, and more. Before we'd have close to 8 million followers on Instagram, over 2.5 million on Twitter, and over 5 million subscribers on YouTube at the time of this recording.
I don't stay in the projects anymore. I'm not a project baby anymore. I'm a suburbs kid. I'm a suburban.
In his 2017 documentary on World Star, Kodak said, "I don't rap, I illustrate. Everything I say, you see it vividly." The last few years have been something like a roller coaster for Kodak Black. His highs have included a #1 album, massive commercial solo success, and being part of huge songs as a feature. While his lows, they've included troubles with the law that seem to be never ending. But before all the fame and all the turmoil, Kodak was just a project baby born in Pompano Beach, Broward County, Florida. He grew up in some of the toughest circumstances in America, but his ability to observe and document his surroundings in a brutally honest way over instrumentals, they gave him a way out. But before he saw true success, he almost lost all hope as he was facing a potential life sentence. It was at this moment that fate, it stepped in. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden, documenting the life and career of Kodak Black prior to fame, here for you on an updated version. Now, the last time we took a stab at this was like 3 years ago. And while this channel's come a long way, when things start looking a little crusty, we hit you guys with an update like we've done recently with A$AP Rocky and Future. Now, this video has been brought to you by our good friends over at Candy Pens. You guys gotta let us know who's next in the comments down below. Here we go. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom! Dude's son Octave was born on June 11, 1997 in Pompano Beach, Florida, a city located in Broward County. Now, his parents, they immigrated from Haiti to the States a few years prior to Kodak's birth. Unfortunately, Kodak, he grew up not knowing his father, and he was raised by a single mother in the Golden Acres public housing project in Pompano Beach, which is part of an area that has the largest populations of Haitians in the US. Now you know. Now, Pompano, it was also described by the state officials in the 1970s as unsalvageable, and by illegal aid in 1987, and violence surrounding him at all times. But that life, it became a daily reality, and in order to make sure he wasn't pushed around, he learned to fight from an early age, always getting into scraps. Now, he was even expelled for fighting in the 5th grade, but just because he was tough, it doesn't mean that he wasn't incredibly smart. Now, Kodak, he competed in spelling bees when he was in elementary school and would occasionally outspell high school students because, I don't know, he knew what he was doing. And Kodak, he was always looking for ways to expand his vocabulary, and that's why he would always spend his free time reading the thesaurus. Now, while attending C. Robert Markham Elementary School, he started rapping with some of his cousins. He lists Lil Boozy as an early inspiration and related to his story of struggle and triumph. Now, apparently Kodak, he would battle kids in his neighborhood for money, and just like in his spelling competitions, he would win these battles against some older guys. Although his friends, they also rapped, most of them were too shy to perform at school talent shows. But Kodak, he always had the confidence to get up on stage. At 12, he rapped his verses to some of the older guys in the neighborhood, and they were impressed. They invited a young Kodak to their home studio to start recording, but their studio wasn't just a microphone and a computer, it also doubled as a trap house. And it was there that Kodak, he was first introduced to hustling. Now, Kodak wasn't interested in anything street related though. He would go to the trap house every day after school just so he could record music. Now, hanging with the older kids isolated Kodak from his peers, and he stopped hanging out with kids his own age. That makes sense. At first, Kodak says he was rapping about things that he wasn't actually living, but after spending enough time in the trap house, his new friend's influence rubbed off on him and he began hustling for some extra money. Eventually, he became a part of the local rap group called the Brutal Youngins, using a few different rap names, one of them being J Black. Now, when he joined Instagram, he added Kodak onto his name because, like he told Pigeons and Planes, because Kodak, that's pictures and all that. Before Instagram and before Facebook and all that other shit, I was just Black or Lil Black and shit like that. But yeah, Instagram came out and I was like, man, I'm gonna be Kodak Black. If you read that back or listen to that again, I get what he's saying. Now, his friend and collaborator Polo Poo, he suggested he keep that as his rap moniker. So so it stuck. In an interview with the Sun Sentinel, now Kodak's mom, she stated, "As a young boy, he was obsessed with music, not listening to other people's music as much as writing his own. When I think in my mind, music is his life. That's all he likes. That's all he wants." Around that time, he went to the dentist and he used his hustling money to replace all of his teeth with his now signature gold ones. Now, years later, he got them removed due to gum disease and, well, he put in a diamond grill instead.
Put the writing inside the gums.
Kodak told Fader that if rap didn't work out, he would take out his girls and either become a boxer or pick up a trade like brick masonry or become a commercial driver and get a license to drive big rigs. But I got a feeling he'd still be hustling, you know? But before making rap as a real career, he was hustling as a means for survival. He said his mom was barely making enough money to pay the bills and didn't have any left over for young Kodak. So he started to make his own money to spend on clothes, shoes, and just getting something to eat. But living that lifestyle quickly caught up with him, and in middle school, he was caught for stealing cars. Now, Kodak was sent to juvie 3 times, and it was in the summer of 2013 that he got caught with a serious charge that was punishable by a potential life sentence. Now, at the same time, his music was also starting to develop into something special as he released covers onto YouTube under the name J Black, including a cover of Wale's Ambition. Kodak rapped with an understanding about life like few others his age were able to do. Luckily, that talent was recognized by the right person at the exact right time. Enter AC Julian, who is the CEO of Dollars and Deals Entertainment. Now, he heard Kodak's music and believed in him so much that he was willing to invest in some big-time lawyers to represent the case. Now, the lawyers were able to reduce Kodak's sentence to 3 years probation instead of a life sentence. Now, Kodak Black, he was given a new life, one filled with a lot of ups and a lot of cops. Now, I'm going to talk about all that in a second, but for now, it looks like it's getting a little smoky in here. Also, my hair changes color. You've all heard of Candy Pens, right? Well, if the name doesn't ring a bell, I got a good feeling you've seen them before. Now, Candy Pens was named Best Vaporizer of 2018 by High Times due to its combination of popular technology and flashy design. And Candy Pens, well, they've quickly become the go-to choice for vaping in the hip-hop and rap community. They've got some co-signs from DJ Khaled, Fatboy SSE, Young M.A., and Amber Rose. Even the one and only A$AP Rocky, yeah, he's got his own signature line called the Flacco Jody Collection. Now, Candy Pens has actually made me their YouTube ambassador, the one and only, and they've given me the ability to get you 25% off your entire order. Yeah, there's a link down below. Also use the promo code BTWF25. Get some money back, enjoy your vaping. Remember, Candy Pens are for those 18 years and older. Upon his release, he signed with Dollars and Deals, and December of that year, he launched his mixtape, Project Baby. Now, Kodak's music had a huge buzz locally, and he was playing packed-out performances around Florida. He continued to work towards his high school diploma at Blanchet Eli High School, sounds fancy, and there are even videos of him performing at the school's homecoming. Now, while posting music videos to YouTube and dropping more music, well, then his music video for No Flockin', it went viral. And the song, it even got played on Miami radio. And the video today, it's got over 172 million views. In October of 2015, Kodak was pulled over by cops on suspected robbery and possession, but he later got out on bail. Thanks to Dollars and Deals, you know what I mean? So hot that his troubles with the law didn't stop Atlantic Records from signing him to a deal. Then later that October, well, Drake, he posted a video on his Instagram dancing to Kodak's music while flying on a private plane. And this gave Kodak, well, a boost in viewership. Everyone's like, oh, if Drake likes it, I'm in. Career-wise, things couldn't go any better for Kodak Black. He was a XXL freshman. He dropped a debut album that was well received, both commercially and critically. But then his troubles with the law, they continued. And over the course of the next couple of years, he was in and out of court and back and forth from jail. But he also experienced a lot of growth. While in jail after being taught by a Hebrew minister, well, he reportedly became a Hebrew Israelite, and he eventually legally changed his name to Bill K. Capri. Kodak earned his GED in jail, where he also carried around a dictionary and, just like he did as a kid, a thesaurus, so that, he could continue to expand his vocabulary. But this time, the stakes, they were higher because Kodak, he had a child on the outside that he wanted to get home to as soon as possible. In 2017, Cardi B, she released Bodak Yellow, which was a nod to Kodak's flow on the song No Flockin'. It was the song that started a huge wave for Cardi, and she admitted that Kodak was a huge inspiration for the song. Although there was some back and forth about it, eventually Kodak hopped on some official remix for the song, and I'm sure he received some royalties off the song's success. So how you gonna be mad at her then? Now more recently, Kodak Black, he's been out of jail, but he does have some looming charges from a fan who believes or alleges that he raped her after one of his concerts. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. He is acting like a new man, he's cut his hair, he moved from Florida to LA, and he seems pretty level-headed in all his interviews. He's also had more success than ever, having a #1 album that included the single ZZ, which is now certified platinum. But you know, his legal battles, they're not completely over just yet. And we're hoping that Kodak's fresh start will lead to a brighter future and no more jail time. As for the future, well, Kodak, he wants to get married one day and chill in a nice crib with his kids while he stays out of trouble. But as for the rest of the story, well, we're gonna wrap this one up here because this is Before They Are Famous. My name is Mike McCrudden. We make all sorts of celebrity bios here for you on this channel. If you like this one, check out some of our other recent updates. Probably some of your favorite rappers we've done. We also document YouTube, but you guys know what I do. Forget that everyone already knows. See you guys in another video. Boom!